Dear Timothy, it's been a long time. Yes, remember when you drove me out of Canada, dominating with your presence? Well, I said I would be back. I just didn't say when. Now I have a new team and a new focus, and I'm on my way back. And I'm coming with a force. So I hope you're ready for me, because I'm about to make some noise and give you some competition. Sincerely, Dunkin Donuts.
Does Canada run on Dunkin'? Because Dunkin' Donuts, whose famous slogan in the States is America runs on Dunkin', is now coming back to Canada. Foodtastic, which is a Montreal-based company, is going to be relaunching the brand here in Canada. Now, Dunkin' Donuts did operate in Canada until a little under 10 years ago. It slowly shrunk over a lot of years, and eventually the very few remaining Dunkin' Donuts in Canada actually sued, the franchisees, I should say, sued, because they said that their parent company wasn't doing enough to fight against Tim Hortons, which is, of course, to put it mildly, everywhere in Canada. And so, we fast forward a few years, and this new company to take over Dunkin' Donuts brand in Canada says that they want to relaunch. They want to operate franchises here in Canada. So it wouldn't be owned and operated by the American company. They're going to license the brand Dunkin' Donuts and sell the presumably donuts and coffee and breakfast-ish type foods. They're going to launch slowly in Canada, they're telling us. Toronto, Montreal, but really they're looking to bring back an iconic American brand and see if it's Canadians that are interested in it. The company has some experience in the market here. Foodtastic owns and operates Second Cup as a brand here in this country.
Now, before I go any further with this video, I want to let you guys know, and I usually don't do this, but I talked about this 3 weeks, almost a month ago. I mentioned that Dunkin' Donuts needs to come back to Canada to battle Tim Hortons. I did a 2-part video, all right? One was a former owner of Tim Hortons speaking out about the quality of Tim Hortons, and then part 2 was about the solution of bringing Dunkin' back to Canada. You know what part 1 got? Part 1 was my most viewed video with 35,000 views, and the second video with Dunkin' Donuts, only 100 views. All right? So y'all chose to ignore what I was talking about. Y'all probably thought, oh, whatever. I'm not clicking on that video because Dunkin' Donuts, whatever. But yes, May 11th, 2026, it's the May 12th, 2026. It's the #1 story in Canada. Dunkin' Donuts is coming back. So all I gotta say is, if you're gonna watch another video on YouTube or TikTok and they're talking about Dunkin' Donuts, I appreciate it if you would put in the comments that DA Bourne from Born with Purpose talked about this almost a month ago. Or you could go on my video and give it a like. Anyway, that's my rant. Let's get to the story. Dunkin' is coming back. Now, look, I went through the history of why they left Canada in that video. You could go to the link and check it out. All right, let's move on. Foodtastic. They got a new company. They're coming back. They have obviously noticed that Tim Hortons has been dominating Canada. They noticed Tim Hortons has no competition whatsoever. They've driven out Dunkin'. They drove out Country Style Donuts. They drove out Robin's Donuts. They've driven out every company out there. And they're coming back. They're coming back. Now, you may think, oh, DA's a big Dunkin' Donuts fan. No, not really. I'm not a Dunkin' Donuts fan like that. Like, I've had them a couple of times, and to be honest, their coffee isn't that great. If you were to line up 3, let's say, if there was a mom and pop coffee shop, Dunkin' Donuts and Tim Hortons all next to each other, I will go to the mom and pop shop first. I would support them, support local, support good quality, people trying to make it. I would support them first. And then second, I will go to Dunkin'. Because here's the thing. Tim Hortons, when you get comfortable, you start getting lazy. And the quality has gone down. They stopped baking in the stores. They sold them out. They're no longer a Canadian company. And they don't want to hire, most of the franchises no longer want to hire Canadians. So Dunkin has been looking at that, and they've been paying attention, and they're coming back hard. They're coming back hard. They're like, we were here a while ago. The previous company that we were with back in the 90s didn't want to fund us, didn't want to do whatever it needed to do to keep in competition with Tim Hortons, and Tim Hortons drove us out of Canada. But now Foodtastic is willing to do what it takes. However, however, what does Tim Hortons? How will Tim Hortons beat? How will Dunkin beat Tim Hortons? This TikToker, it describes it in less than 20 seconds.
This is a message for Dunkin Donuts. I heard you're coming back to Canada to take on Tim Hortons. One piece of advice for you: hire local Canadian youth, support Canadian business, and we will support you. You hire temporary foreign workers like Tim Hortons, you're going to be run out of town quicker than last time.
There you go. He said it all. He said it all. If Dunkin commits to hiring Canadians first, which means hiring students, hiring seniors, and I'm not saying you can't hire temporary foreign people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there needs to be a cap. You can't hire all temporary foreign workers like Tim Hortons has been doing. You hire Canadians, Dunkin will get the supporters. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. And if they're coming this year, and you got people in Canada that need a job, and you hire Canadians, you hire those people who've been here for years, or the up and coming young students that just want a job, Dunkin will get the support. And Tim Hortons will feel. They will feel it. They will feel it. However, he summed it up well. If Dunkin comes in and does the same thing that Tim Hortons has been doing by hiring temporary foreign workers, Dunkin will be out of here a second time. And it will be a quick exit. Dunkin, you've been doing the homework. It's now time to put your actions to your words. And I hope you do hire Canadians. I hope you do hire Canadians, because it will definitely make either Tim Hortons step up and hire Canadians as well and improve their quality. Or, if you know what, just oh, I love it. I love it. Good companies need competition. Coke needs Pepsi. Pepsi needs Coke. McDonald's needs Burger King and Wendy's and all these people to compete with them. Bell needs Rogers to compete with them. Competition is good, because you as a company have to keep your quality going. Dominating is not the answer. It is not. But I want to know your thoughts. All right, I want to know your thoughts of Dunkin coming back. And I know, I understand Dunkin Donuts isn't the greatest. Obviously, I'm not here saying that I'm a Dunkin Donuts fan. I want to know your comments. Is Dunkin coming to Canada a good thing or not? And do you think that Tim is scared? Anyway, share and subscribe to Born with Purpose. And I have a new food channel called Born with an Appetite. Check the link below. Hope you can like and subscribe to that as well. Love y'all. God bless. I'm out. Peace.